Hi everyone, Jules here from the Board Game BBQ. I'm here today to talk about a new game being published by Facade Games, and it's called Hollywood 1947. Now, there is a lot packed in this little box. I'm going to share a few of my thoughts on how the game works, so let's have a look at the table and we'll go through it together. In Hollywood 1947, you take on the role as someone in a Hollywood film production company trying to produce amazing films for the American public. In the game, you're going to have different roles that influence how the films are made. At the start of a game, you'll be given a loyalty card. You'll either be a patriot or a communist, or in a player count with odd number of players, there'll be a rising star. The objective of the game is to have your team create 4 films with a majority of their messaging in the film, be it either patriot or communist, with the objective of the rising star being to take the game to 7 rounds and to have the final vote on that film either end in a tie or with one team winning or losing by no more than 1 vote. The player order in this game is designated by the number of the role that you have. You'll work from lowest number to highest number in sequential order, executing the actions of those characters or taking a few basic actions. The basic actions are either to re-roll 2 dice, including it could be your own, or you can take a new roll from the middle of the board, switching with what you've currently got. Once all players have taken their action, all players that are involved in the production of that company, indicated by the die in front of them having a star, will get to contribute a vote card to that production. Your hand can either have communist cards, patriot cards, neutral cards, or double patriot or double communist, with some of those cards having a power that will shake up the game once the voting is resolved. Inherently, the film that you're choosing to produce each round may or may not have predetermined votes already contributing to the film. Depending on what roles were executed during the round, you may or may not end up adding an extra random vote card from the top of the deck. Once you've shuffled the vote cards, you'll then randomly remove one of those vote cards, thus not giving players perfect information about who contributed what to the making of this film. Once that's done, you'll flip over the cards, counting the number of symbols on both the cards and the film itself, and if the Patriots have a majority number of votes, they have successfully fulfilled their objective of creating a patriotic film. If the result results in a majority of communist votes, the communists have succeeded in making a film that has their messaging. If the result is a tie, the communists also win that. It's a little bit of balancing, as there are less communist players in the game, to counterbalance the amount of patriots that are around the table as well. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of what makes up a round in Hollywood 1947. The play is very simple. You'll repeat these actions until one team has produced 4 films with their messaging. First off, I need to say I really love the theme of this game. The roles feel thematic. There's lots and lots of tension in this game, and I've always had a blast playing this. You get the same cool form factor that you do with all the other Facade games, this faux book look, and it looks spectacular if you've got the rest of their collection as well. The art in this game is really charming. It brings to life what you're trying to play in this game. People in a production company, and each round it brings to life the flavor and discussion of what you're trying to do. Now, there's quite a few similarities to Werewolf in this game, in that it's a social deduction game. You're trying to figure out who's on what team, with a few differences in that there's no player elimination in this game. And even if you are sprung as to what role you're playing and you don't really have a good poker face, that's still okay. There's lots of tools at your disposal to influence the outcome of the game. You can start by rolling other people's die on your turn to try and get them out of the film or put yourself in the film. There's some really clever mechanics going on here, and I've found it quite balanced actually. I've had wins for both sides, both Patriot and Communist each time I've played this game. I will say that the higher the player count, the better in this game, the more the merrier. It's a group game, it's a social deduction game. You want lots of people being able to throw shade and banter, and lots of people to deflect your communist ways too. One of the other things I really love about Hollywood 1947 is the roles. They might not look like much to begin with, but there are some very powerful and very important roles in this game. And in the hands of the wrong team, that can drastically sway the outcome of the game. You gotta do what you can to try and piece together information quickly and get those roles out of the hands of your opposing team. To do that, you might need to try and minimize the number of people that are contributing to a film to try and pass some sort of information. If you have everyone contributing, it's really hard unless you're just doing social reads to figure out who is who. I think this game's really clever. There's not much really else to say about it. The theme is fun, the mechanics are clean, and it provides a really good atmosphere for a social deduction game. I can see this one being played over things like Werewolf or something of the same nature. It doesn't take very long to play, and the theme is, as I said, it's very charming. I've found lots of people been drawn to this one because it is something different that we haven't seen before. Well, that's it from me this time. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it's given you an insight as to how the game works and who it might be for. I highly recommend checking out some of the other titles that Facade Games have published, in one of my favorites being Bristol 1350 and Tortuga 1667. Those are both fantastic games. Again, big group games that you want lots of people for high social interaction. That's it from me this time, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and listen to the podcast if you haven't. If you didn't know, we are a podcast. So head over to there on any podcasting app you have and check out other games we're talking about as well. That's it from me. Bye for now.